I told you that our marriage is not a Trello board. Relationships are not checkboxes, and I don't want to be a checkbox. I don't want to be put in this box. Like, if you think that taking me out on a date night, taking me on a holiday is going to solve all of our relationship problems, you're unfortunately setting yourself up for failure.
When I speak your name, when I move my body, oh, yeah, I'm clean by you. When I speak.
All right, we're live. Hi, everyone. Today we come to you with String's marriage repair sketch. String's gonna walk you through how he thinks we should repair our marriage.
Yeah, so Anna and I this morning we went to breakfast. Yeah, there's been a little bit of tension since Friday last week. Now it's Wednesday,
A whole
and
week, which is unusual.
which
for
is
us.
the longest it's been. So like, okay, we need to sit down and talk. So I went to brekkie this morning, and for me, I already had it in my head. I was like, if I can make Anna laugh, then we're on a winner. But yeah, this wasn't a session for comedy, but I brought this one out, and I think we're on the mend. What do you reckon?
Well, you
Yeah.
draw this, and I was like, that's not how it
All right.
works.
So-
But
So Anna talked to me. So you told me, you said, look, this is how I'm feeling. I'm not feeling like I'm the priority. Challenges with having 2 kids, 2 of us, having a business together as well. And the number one thing I got out of it was you as a priority. But before we got deep into that, I just came out being a man, just with a solution. So
yeah, so let's start with that. I tell String things aren't working, or he's feeling it. He's taking me to breakfast. We sat down, and he took his notebook, and then he presented me with his grand plan that you're seeing now on the screen. If you're listening to this, you should definitely go on YouTube and check out this beautiful drawing that String has done. So yeah, just explain to us, String, what is your marriage repair plan, or what was it before before we actually got to the
it's pretty
simple.
Yeah. Like most things. Yeah. So let me lay it out. So this is girl, this is boy, this is Anna, String. So when Anna is, let me go bigger. Oh, I can't zoom in any further. That's right. When Anna is sad, so girl sad leads to boy sad. And the loop is when I'm not happy, then there's a loop around, and it makes Anna not happy as well. So I put these things in. I said, look, if we can just break this chain here, then we're on a winner. And then the suggestion is, so that's the number one. So how do we do it? That's the path over here, following the arrow. I go on to the tangible things. What is it? One times per month date night.
You said I need to quantify it.
Quantify it. Yeah, that's the terms I use. So 1 times per month date night. So if I put a little bit of red wine into Anna's glass over here, and she drinks it, it's going to go into here, and she'll be happy and fall in love with me, and then everything's going to sort itself out. Then there was the other, like, plus. So date nights. So this is very hard to draw. DNs. All right, you get the idea. This is
You can put text in it.
all right. D. No, I'll just do that. DN. So that there is a date night, and this is H for holidays. So if we do date nights and we do holidays, see, on a beautiful exotic island, palm trees, coconuts. We haven't had one of these, like a proper. Well, we haven't had the 2 of us on holiday since the kids were around.
Which is like
this is my
3
number
and a
2.
half years.
Yeah, so this is like strategy number 1, strategy number 2. This plus that leads to happy wife, happy me, happy life, and happy family. They're our two little girls, Zoe and Anna. And
Zoe and Anna.
sorry, Zoe and Eva. And that leads to lots of love from my wife. And the number one thing is putting Anna as my number one priority. So it's a pretty simple plan. If I just go, it's left to right. It's like a Trello board. Left to right. If I do that, then we win.
Okay, but we don't.
Yeah. Well, this is where it didn't work out for me.
Yeah, this is where it didn't work out for you because why? What did I tell you? Well, I told you that. Yeah, I told you that our marriage is not a Trello board. Relationships are not checkboxes, and I don't want to be a checkbox. I don't want to be put in this box. Like, if you think that taking me out on a date night, taking me on a holiday is going to solve all of our relationship problems, you're unfortunately setting yourself up for failure.
Yeah. So yeah, most guys are. We kind of it'll be so easy if there were instructions for this. Wait, what are you doing there?
Well, I just stopped because now we actually get to the I guess we talk about, well, like that works for you, but it's not going to work for me because that's not going to solve it.
No, the solving of it comes down to feelings and being there for you, being present. Which, and I told you this morning, I don't think I've ever asked anyone how you're feeling. It's not how I've grown up. So tell me how you feel. I'm asking that of Zoe, prompted by you, because when she's frustrated, you acknowledge you've read the books and you acknowledge, I can see you're feeling like this, but that's not my general go-to. My go-to is solution. Like, how do I fix this? Okay, wife's unhappy. What do I do to fix this?
Yeah.
Not ask.
Well, that was the main issue, because I think people listening and watching are like, okay, well, what's the problem, guys? And it's quite vulnerable for us to share this. Well, for me too, because I'm a relationship coach and I have a program, but we also work together in this business, and so there's so many layers to it. But I think we had a discussion this morning where I shared with you how I feel, and I shared with you how I feel like you are not present. Like, I don't want to be a checkbox for you every month that you take me out for dinner, and you think that, okay, that's what marriage is, and like, it's not. And I know that men are not as versed in it, and I know that I, as a woman, I'm so much more in touch with this, and you're not. And if you would be, then we probably wouldn't be together. But I feel like this is our age right now, because how it's been, it's just not, like, it's not working for me. And I think it's also because, obviously, we've had two little children in the last 4 years, and I've just been feeling like, not necessarily trapped, but I'm still breastfeeding. So for the last 2 years, I've been pregnant and breastfeeding, so I couldn't focus that much on me and stuff. And I want to share with everyone that within this process, I've been thinking of, okay, well, where is my part? Because obviously I'm mirroring you. So when I coach my clients, and I try to coach myself on this, because I hate being in this state. I think this has been the longest time where I've been, you called it what? Disappointed. Usually I bounce back real quick because I really look inside and what this is for me. But this time it was different. This time there was something there that I could, and I've done my flow. I thought about, well, how can I, if I don't feel loved in this relationship or in this marriage or chosen, how can I choose myself, right? and this is actually what I recommend to all of my clients, and this is what I do, right? Like I first go into my body, I release a lot of that, whatever I'm feeling, so and then I think about, okay, well, where am I not loving myself? Okay, what do I crave? I crave to be taken out. I crave to feel adored and chosen and, cherished. And I want to experience this stuff. And I'm like, okay, well, how can I just got pissed that I'm sitting there and waiting for you to make me happy or for you to take me out. And I'm like, fuck that. How can I do this for myself? And I already kind of have a plan. I messaged a few girlfriends. I want to go out more. I want to go on retreat and stuff like that. I know I'm also very impatient.
Oh yeah. There's no
But
delayed
imagine,
gratification.
yeah.
here.
Well, I want to look at you when your body has been producing children for the past 4 years. Ha ha! There's no delayed gratification. Like, just it's different.
Oh, it is. Yeah.
Like what I've been giving to the kids, and it's so demanding, and the hormones and stuff, and so I haven't been feeling well, about it. And so I know that another 4 months, and Eva's going to be 1, and I can get off breastfeeding, and I can go on a 3-day retreat, and I can do so many other things, like get on a motorcycle and go somewhere for a day. But anyways, for now, so this is my part, and I'm owning my part. But then I was questioning, like, where is your part there? So the first thing to do, well, the first 2 things that I did, and I think every woman should do when she's feeling like she's not, my man isn't stepping up. Like that's the biggest complaint that women are having. He doesn't take me out, and I'm like, I hate being in this state where I'm waiting for you to take me out. And I got to that state, and I'm like, I don't want to be here. So I dropped to my hands and knees. I did my feminine flow, which I teach all of the women in the Claim program, and then I asked, how and where am I not allowing myself to be cherished and wanted? And I really turned inside and being in that space. But then I still believe that I needed to communicate it to you about how I feel, so that perhaps you also not even wake up, but I wrote this thing, good enough is not good. It is not enough anymore. Should I read it?
Yeah, you should read it. And I think, my mistake here was not tackling it early, because this gave you enough time to think about, to really consider, where you were going into your, well, I imagine going into your head, questioning where is this.
Well, first
going?
I talked to 4 of my girlfriends.
Okay. I talked to 0 of my guy friends.
Well, yeah, because you don't talk about this stuff.
No.
That's what, like, and the thing is that you are, and I told you are an amazing father, and you are an amazing husband. You are the protector and the provider, and that has been for me enough. And that's what I think, the first stage for the women I work with, because I was there before, like, to start to attract men like you. You are the perfect CMM,
Yeah, we know.
like, yeah, honestly, when I've reworked my beliefs around men and everything, I've attracted you. We've been together for 6 years, but it almost seems like our relationship and our marriage is going to the next level. Of course, we have a business together now, and we have kids, like totally different. And look, I've been extremely happy with you, but it seems like we've hit this plateau where I just felt like, good enough, meaning like the protector and the provider only, and being a great father, which you are, is just not enough anymore. And so let me read this, and then
read that, and then we'll go.
Yeah. So I shared this with String, and it's quite vulnerable, and I think both of us got pretty emotional when we read it again. I know he loves me, but it's not enough anymore. It's not enough anymore to love me the way you have been loving me before. I want more passion. I want more excitement. I want to feel chosen. I want to know and feel that you're always thinking about how to make me happy. I feel you're not here. You're not with me. You refuse to be here in the body with me because you're afraid, or maybe lazy, or maybe ignorant. Whatever it is, I don't care. I'm not available for good enough anymore. I don't want a good enough husband because I'm not a good enough wife. I'm an amazing wife and woman and mother to your children. I'm the golden goose that lays golden eggs wherever she can and wants. I want to feel taken care of, loved, wanted, played with, taken out, taken places, given gifts, touched, adored, feel like I'm the priority, not the business, not the children, me. Am I not prioritizing myself? Good question, maybe. Maybe I'm just trying too hard. Maybe I'm tired. How am I not loving myself? Gosh, how much more work I need to do to excavate and dig. How am I mirroring this? There's nothing unclear, unresolved for me. I know what I want. I know my worth. I know what I deserve, and I won't let you give me less. I won't let you be less. Either you go up with me or not go with me at all. Good enough isn't enough anymore. Every man is a teacher. Maybe I've learned my lesson with you. There's no solution here yet, just being in it. And this was the moment where I'm like, well, I told you, look, we can either be, business partners and co-parents, and that's it. That's how, probably 90% of relationships, of families, marriages are. And we can just do that. But for me, I could probably do that for that long, and then I'm going to put you. So our daughter, our 3-year-old, always says, Daddy, I'm going to put you in the rubbish. Or she says, I'm going to put you in jail. And I was like, maybe I should put you in the funnel, which is, when you're dating which means like, well, maybe I should, start thinking about other men and stuff. But why? Like, I think I asked the question, yeah, we can do the business together. We can co-parent. You can take me to breakfast or dinner, but like, maybe we don't need to sleep in one bed, and maybe and because when we started, I was really focused on that role. And I think this is where there's an important conversation we had, because for me, I always prioritize myself in the relationship. And I chose that concept of lovers because I teach in the program, like, choose a role that your partner is playing. For me, you've always played a role of a lover, and that's why we've managed to, have that polarity in place. But I think for you, it has been
Well, mine's shifted.
different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And my realization was my priority has shifted to dad rather than lover. And you weren't the number one priority. And it wasn't until it was the sitting down and talking through it for me, because I don't think about things until there's trouble.
Yeah. The masculine things, if it's not broken, don't fix it.
Yeah. And we don't realize it, we don't realize something's not right until, there's a flat tire and you're still driving down the road. It's getting bumpier and bumpier. I'm like, oh shit, maybe I should step outside and have a look. And I think that's what happened with us. But it wasn't until you didn't get really angry. You just it was the word for me is disappointment.
And I was gave
like,
up.
Gave up. I was like, oh shit, I don't like it. I like it. I prefer you to be angry and pissed off. And because then I know what I did. Whereas here, I was like, okay, how do I improve this situation? How do I fix it? That's what it comes down to.
Yeah.
But my fixing, I don't. Before we talked this morning, my fixing isn't. I would internalize and go, oh, I know what I need to do. I need to bring that lover back in. I need to prioritize you, because that didn't even cross my mind, and it wouldn't have crossed my mind, if I was being honest, until someone made me aware of it. I don't go to that space, and it's not something that's natural for me. But it was before we were a family. That was my space.
Well, yeah, because you were like actively courting and pursuing me, girlfriend. Remember I said girlfriend? Like,
I need to call you my girlfriend. I like. Hang on.
yeah.
I'm going to start calling
so
you my
takeaways
girlfriend.
from here. Number
Yeah.
one is switching from
Wife to
dad,
girlfriend
yeah, wife to girlfriend, and then dad
to lover.
to lover. Dad, wife
Priority.
to girlfriend.
Number one priority, lover.
Wife to lover.
Because lover is so much better than husband. Husband sounds boring.
Well, husband is like husband. It's that
Husband and wife is just
See,
like a legal.
it's an
legal term.
arrangement. It's like we're playing the roles that we need to play, which means, you know, you are the protector, the provider. I take care of the kids and the I don't know, the laundry and the babysitters and the food and whatever. But like I
Oh, hang on. There was another list. We won't go through it. Taking care of the laundry and the food and the kids and making the bed. Anna came together. I think during this, all the things I like and don't like. There was a whole list that you put together. Here are the things that I just don't. You want to get to that you don't have
well,
to
yeah,
deal
but
with.
that doesn't have to do necessarily with our dynamic. But yeah, you know, I shared with you how I feel. And when you said, how do I fix it? That's the thing. I don't need you to fix anything. That is literally like, this is not how do I fix situation. That's why your brilliant genius sketch, it doesn't work, because it's like, you can take me on a date night every night, but if you're in your head all the time and you're not here and you're not embodied, right? Which I know for you, talking about feelings and like being in the body is weird. But this conversation, I think, is so great, because I think most men out there are like you. Most men out there that the women are with are not these like embodiment relationship polarity coaches I'm interviewing on my podcast, right? And they're just guys, and you're just a guy. You're like a really good guy.
I'm just
you know?
an awesome guy. You know,
You're
just
like
a regular.
You're like a great
awesome
CMM
guy.
who's in your head, who's not doing, you know, you're like surfing and exercising. You're a great dad, a great husband. Like, you're great, but I want more. Like, I want deeper. I don't want to settle for just in like it's enough, good enough. You know, like I don't want good enough. I want to be with you. I want to be in a relationship with you. And I always said it's a choice. Like
Yeah.
like if I do not choose, if you don't one day you decide not to choose to be with me anymore, then you're free to go.
Yeah.
And I feel the same way. And so, you know, but I do love you, obviously, you know.
A little less.
A little less last week. But like, there's nothing to fix. What needs to be done is like, I just want you to be here with me. Like, when you see and notice, it's like, that's what embodiment is. I've interviewed this woman, Melanie Curtin. She actually works with men, helping them create that polarity and being in the body. And I didn't think about that much before, because I obviously work with women, know how important it is to women. But she's just helped me understand that it's as important for women as it is for men. It looks different, but you know, when you are breathing, I think there's like breathing techniques into your heart and body and whatever. You're just able to notice my body language and how you relate to me and how you resonate. You know, like you put down your phone, like you threw your phone away. Like I feel now.
Well, it buzzed. And we're talking.
Yeah, but that's exactly because, you know, there's a problem. I feel your attention, your full attention here. And the question is, how can we have this? Okay, I don't expect 100% of the time, but I want it 80% of the time. You know, when we're in bed, when we're together, when we're on a date night, I don't want it to be like the like, how do I feel? Okay, date night, check. I'm in your checkbox. I don't want to be a checkbox. You know? So, to conclude, what's the new plan? If String were to draw a new plan, how would that look like?
the new plan is that if I'm aware of it, and that's actually a conscious effort for me.
You
I'm
mean
not.
not taking our relationship for granted and just cruising?
Yeah, well, cruising is kind of
That's
natural.
new.
Yeah, but I'm not like, oh yeah, if I, yeah, it's not easy for me to go, oh yeah, I just need to be more present because I'm not naturally present. Um,
Mm.
this is something that I need to do consciously and focus on consciously and to think about it. And I know you don't like checklists, but for me, the reality may be to actually create a checklist, not what I do, what I do for you or to you, but what do I need to focus on? Like what is that? What is that time? Because that's the
Can I share something with you and the listeners? I heard this theory of why women are better at relationships than men.
why is that?
I don't know if I shared this with you, but and it's a theory, but I think there's something to it that when girls and boys are born, obviously, as a mother, the mother is a woman. Well, obviously. But as a mother, the boy, as the mother, like if I had a son, well, as mothers and as parents, right? We love our children unconditionally, but there's that mother baby bond, which is undeniable, right? Which is very different to father
Mm,
baby bond. And so if a woman has a son, she loves her son and her daughter unconditionally, but because she's the opposite gender to him, as a son, you, as a man, as a boy, you you're already loved by the opposite sex unconditionally. And therefore, you do not need to work at building relationships.
mm-hmm.
Like unconsciously, it's not a priority because that relationship is so ingrained. And I think it also might, well, I'm still exploring this idea, but I think it also has something to do with why men are so inherently confident. I mean, it has to do with testosterone, living on the edge and everything. But, I've been thinking of why girls, I mean, of course, it has to do with thousands and thousands of years of women being inferior. Obviously, we carry that, and that women have a lot of
You're not
insecurities.
inferior.
Well, I
You're
know I'm
just
not.
inferior to me.
Stop. Well, okay. If you're a listener, String, you got to get familiar with String's
That's all right. Continue.
sense of humor, but it has something to do with that. So that, but if you're a girl, there's almost like, well, how they explain it, a rejection from the mother earlier than with a boy, because like it's an opposite, not a rejection, I don't know how to explain it, but basically the little girl, and we have two girls, right? So how different is her dynamic? Zoe is 3.5. How different is her dynamic with you rather than with me? She has to flirt with you. She has to create this, like, I notice it so much because how she relates to me is so different. And I think
It
as a
is.
mother, you know it and you notice it. Because she's with you so cheeky. She's like a little girl. I mean, she's playing with you, but maybe it's also depends on how I relate to her. But little girls, because they don't have that unconditional, complete love from the opposite sex, which is you, the father, she has to learn how to build that relationship with you. And she's then becoming so equipped at building relationship that she, as a woman, she's built to build relationship, right? And that's why all women are so much more connected to their feeling. Well, not that's why, but this might be one of the layers. But boys, for you, and I've heard this another thing, which is I thought was beautiful. When we meet each other as men and women, what women learn from men is sex and how to get connected to their sex. Because you guys are so connected to your, it's like
Oh yeah.
1 second instant, boom, I'm ready to go. I can't do that. So I'm here to learn to do that and to learn my body and my sexuality and open up through sex with your help. But you're here to learn how to connect to the relationship and to the internal. So it's almost like what I'm teaching from you is how to connect that masculine to the external. We can say sex, but you're here to learn how to connect to that internal, to the feminine and to the depth. So anyways, I just wanted to share that. But yeah, it's good that you're sharing that. It's so hard for you. It's not natural, which I think is most men. I think for most men, and there's nothing wrong with it necessarily. You know, I also don't want you to talk about feelings all day because that would be unattractive.
Yeah.
But it's time
Don't worry,
to
it's not going to happen.
yeah. But I think what you said, like being aware, and I'm also conscious of not giving you advice here because I'm just sharing with you how I felt and letting you just I guess come to your own conclusions. And I mean, look, if it has to be a checklist, it's like to the feminine, to me, to the woman, it's like, oh my God, how can you put me in a checklist? Like, isn't that important to you? But I guess it is. That's why you're making
But it's not it's
putting
not
it on the
natural.
to-do. It's not
It's
natural.
important, but it's not natural. For me, I don't wake up and think about how do I be more present? How do I bring more love into the world, into the relationship? That's not. It's just maybe I don't know who it's natural for.
Well,
I bet there's plenty of men that it is natural for. For me, it's not. But I also know that many skills. I'm a lot more open than I was as a teenager, in my 20s, to actually exploring, learning about things. What did you do there?
I just took out your headphone.
Oh, okay. Yeah, but this is the way that I deal with that I work at if I need to, and I'm still going into that solution because okay, this is a problem. It's a sketch.
Okay, so what would be the
Sad.
new? Let's finish with this. What would be the new sketch? So that was your old sketch where it's like date night, a holiday. I mean, I still want a date night and I still want a holiday, but I want a present. Maybe embodied is not the right word, but I want a present husband, lover. How would you sketch that out?
I think the sketch is me and you first, and the family as a part of that, but it's me and you as the foundation. And to be present, not to be thinking. I mean, it's hard not to think. Like, thoughts, they're gonna appear, but actually having this conversation, this morning at breakfast, we were speaking. We weren't distracted, and it was the two of us. We weren't having a chat in between doing different things. And the more time that I allocate to that we
Maybe we
that
should
do
eye
it.
gaze more. We did this eye gazing thing, which was good.
Yeah, we did do it.
Which was good. You told me you haven't looked
Is
in
this
my
going
eyes.
on podcast as well?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do eye gazing for 7 minutes, and they can just hang there
and watch
and
listen.
Well, not hear anything.
Not
It's 7 minutes of silence. I think that's it.
Okay. Yeah, so that's it from us today. We'll keep you updated. If you like this, let us know. We can be that. Oh my God. We should not turn into those YouTube couples who like talk about their relationship for hours.
We're gonna we should release like a twin flame relationship course.
All right, bye everyone.